Do you have a passion? Here, I'll put the question in the chat. If you have, tell me about it. In 1996, my husband and I took a fun vacation. We took a road trip to Denver on our motorcycles. Yes, our motorcycles. We went through the southern Utah Canyonlands. The view was beautiful, far better than in a car. You could see for miles. You could see 180 degrees. You could see the colors of the canyon, the architecture. It was gorgeous. And from there, we went through southern Colorado up to the mountains and into Denver and chose to drive up Pikes Peak. Pikes Peak was a 14,000-foot mountain. And yes, we wanted to drive up it. However, 2/3 of the way up there, the atmosphere got so thin, our spark plugs would not work. So we had to turn around and come down. But I can say I've been on Pikes Peak. I just didn't get to the top. We took many other fun, long, and short-term trips through the years, vacations, weekends, all kinds of stuff just to have fun. And the rides to the beach, we lived in Redwood City, which is about 20, 30 miles from the beach. We'd go through winding roads to the hills, get to the beach. They were my favorite rides, They were fun. Then in 2021, I sold the motorcycles since we weren't riding them due to my husband's stroke. My bike was 20 years old, and I was so used to the controls. When I sat on it, I knew where to put my feet, my hands, everything. But at 20 years old, the dealer said they wouldn't work on it anymore. And I thought, I can't maintain a motorcycle. If something goes wrong, I wouldn't know what to do. So I sold it. And I sold my husband's because he obviously wasn't riding a motorcycle either. Oh, let's see. I see, has anyone shared their passions in? Nope, nobody shared passions in the chat. Okay, moving on. I had a hard time coming up with a passion. My friend said, get off your butt, stop Netflix binging, get out and do something, get a passion. For 2 years, I thought about passion. I could not come up with anything. And then one day, boom, I had an epiphany. I love motorcycle riding. So motorcycles are now my passion. I went looking for motorcycles. I wanted specifically a cruiser because the seat sits low enough that I can put my feet flat on the ground and have balance on the bike. So I searched for cruisers. I went to all the local motorcycle dealers. They didn't have cruisers. Amazingly enough, they didn't. So I Googled cruisers online, and I found Harley Davidson and Indian Motorsports were the two dealers that came up with cruisers. So Harley Davidson was all of 15 miles. So I went there, checked them out. Yes, they had cruisers. Yes, they were nice. But boy, was the price catastrophic to me, way out of my range. So I looked up an Indian dealer. Unfortunately, the closest Indian dealer was 2 hours away. But I said, I really want to look at these cruisers. So I drove 2 hours to check out the cruisers, and they had one that was the style that I liked. It wasn't the color I liked, but I got to ride it as a test drive to see if I really fit well in that style and could handle it. And it was a great test drive. It was a great test drive. And they told me they could order my color. So boom, I was so happy. I ordered it outright from the manufacturer right there that day. And they said it would take 4 to 6 weeks to come into play, get from the manufacturer to the dealer. While waiting for those 6 weeks, I picked accessories out. The bike actually came in 2 weeks, which was good because I could start working on the accessories sooner than later. But the accessories were a saddlebag to put clothing and water and stuff in, a windshield to stop the wind from hitting me in the chest while riding on the motorcycle, a safety camera. I saw a clip one time of this man and woman riding on a bike, passing an illegal passing lane to this front car that did not want to let them pass. And he cut in front of them and he clipped the bike, and the bike fell down. And a woman flew into a ditch. And he had a safety camera on, and he provided that video to the police and the DA, and that man got jail time. And I thought, safety cameras are good. Now, you might ask, do I think I'm going to get in an accident? Well, God willing, no. But I just thought it would be good to have a safety camera. And then I got fog lights so I could see the road much better at night. And they really light up the road. I've tested them. It's really cool. I got a tire pressure gauge so I know how much pressure my tires are, because you don't want to have low tires on a motorcycle. It's very hard to steer. low tire pressure is very hard to steer. So I got a gauge that I can look at every once in a while, make sure they're the right PSI, pounds per square inch of pressure. And then I got cool running lights. Oh, they're awesome. They install at the lower base of the bike and they go all through the frame and the outward and the body of the bike, and they glow. They make the bike glow. So the bike color I wanted was called Frost Silver, and it had a blue hue. And I put blue running lights on, and man, does that bike glow. It is sweet. It is sweet. But all this took time. It took 2 months. I was going crazy. It's like, I want that bike. Why is it taking so long? You know, every little thing here and there had a little issue and whatever. So when I was finished, I hired a man to drive my bike home on a trailer. And you wonder, didn't I want to ride the bike? Well, yes, I wanted to, but there was a freeway all the way home. And I was not going to take the bike out for the first ride on a freeway to get to my house. No way. So when I got home, I rode the bike around the block to get used to it. And boy, was that boring. So then I decided to ride through town, which was a little better. It helped me get used to the bike and the controls and the balance. And then I graduated to riding to Bethel Island, which is 13 miles from my house, all back roads. And that was nice. I could ride 45 miles an hour and it was comfortable. Traffic was reasonable. It was a nice ride I did a couple of times. Then this past Tuesday, I finally got the nerve up to go with other bikers and go from Mountain House to Brentwood, where I live. It was a 2-hour round trip drive. We went down Byron Highway, which is a 2-lane highway, not like the freeway with the multiple lanes. And it was exhilarating. I got up to 55, 60 miles an hour. The wind in my hair. Oh, it was beautiful. Well, wind in my helmet. Didn't quite hit my hair. But anyway, it was a wonderful, wonderful drive. It was exhilarating. I'm back, baby. I am back to riding my motorcycle and having a great time. I brought my passion into being. It all started with a friend suggesting to get off the butt and get out and do something, and I'm doing it. I'm back. Thank you.